Salam everyone, welcome to Physics with Noshir Alam, and I am very excited today because we're beginning the MDCAT series today, and this is the first time I'm doing it on YouTube. I used to do it in person many years ago, but I just decided that I'm going to do it on my YouTube channel. So here we go. The first chapter is measurements. Now it's very different from the conventional ONA level that you do, in the sense that you have to memorize a lot in this for this particular exam. So I'm going to tell you the bits that are important, and whatever is coming in my lectures, you must try to memorize as much as you can. Obviously, when you will have an understanding of it, the memory or the memorization will become easier, but nonetheless, you will have to work slightly different from A-levels. In A-levels, you would only memorize definitions and not numericals. Even here, you're not going to memorize numericals, but here there's going to be a lot of qualitative content for you to grasp and absorb. So मैं suggest हमेशा ये करता हूँ कि इसके अंदर तैयारी बहुत पहले शुरू करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि वो absorb करने में, digest करने में और ज़हन के अंदर लिंक बनाने में थोड़ा टाइम लगता है. But it's not difficult, as you will see. So let's start off with the first chapter. The first chapter is measurements. और measurements में सबसे पहले what is physics? Physics की बहुत सारी definitions in the first chapter, so मैं वो important parts पहले करूँगा. सबसे पहले तो physics is experimental. As you all know, that chemistry, well, you cannot experiment with electrons. You don't see them revolving, but in physics, it's a lot of experiments as you see the interaction of forces, energy, and momentum, and you see everything to almost through an experiment. And it is a scientific method which emphasizes the need of accurate measurement. So एक तो experiment करना ही है, लेकिन experiment के अंदर जो readings हैं, they should be accurate and something you know from A-levels, precise, both. तो आप समझ जाओ कि आगे chapter में ये चीज़ आने वाली है अभी. Of different phenomena. It could be mass, length, time, whatever you're measuring has to be accurate, has to be precise. Now, they clearly distinguish two things. One is the area of physics, and the second is the interdisciplinary areas of physics. Areas of physics का मतलब होता है domain, जो physics के अंदर है. Interdisciplinary का मतलब है कि completely physics के अंदर नहीं है, लेकिन physics के साथ overlap है. अब आपको ये चीज़ें कुछ पता होनी चाहिए, ताकि अगर आपको कल को वो पेपर में पूछ सकता है कि जी इज़ electromagnetism an interdisciplinary area of physics, yes or no? So the answer would be no, because it is in the domain of physics. So domain of physics में you have mechanics, thermodynamics, electromagnetism, optics, sound. आपने जितना A level में पढ़ा हुआ है, all of that is the domain of physics. The moment you go into applications, those are the application का नाम क्या है? You're applying it, right? And you're applying it as an overlap with other disciplines. So वो interdisciplinary area of physics. For example, आपने medical physics आपने थोड़ी बहुत देखी in applications. So areas of physics should be very clear. Relativity, इसमें special और general दोनों, quantum physics, quantum mechanics, atomic physics, molecular, nuclear, superconductivity, all of these are the domain of physics, जो physics के अंदर आते हैं. अब interdisciplinary क्या होगा? Astrophysics, biophysics, chemical physics, geophysics, earth related, medical physics हमने पढ़ी हुई है, physical oceanography, and the physics of music. So these are the interdisciplinary or areas that are overlapping with physics but not completely physics. You must understand that there are three fundamental frontiers. The world of the extremely large, when you go to the planets. Then the world of the extremely small, on atomic level. Atomic levels in each other, electrons, protons, mesons, muons, बहुत छोटा. And then the world of complex matter. Next up, what is physics? So physics is the study of matter and energy. By no means this list is exhaustive. So you must know कि इसके अलावा भी हो सकता है, but this is what is mentioned in the FSC syllabus and the MDCAT syllabus, so I'm just going over it with you. study of matter and energy, laws of motion, space-time, nature, and types of forces that hold different materials together, interaction between different particles, and then interaction of electromagnetic radiation with matter. This is what is physics. And this list is non-exhaustive. So it just keeps on going and going and going. Before I forget, the world of complex matter would mean middle-sized things. So molecules एक extreme पे और earth दूसरी extreme पे, so middle size, not as big as the universe, not as small as the very very small. So some the objects or anything which is between the two extremes is categorized under the world of complex matter. Now you have an understanding of what physics is, experimental science, and you have to measure accurately and precisely. And then what are the domains of physics, or what falls under the domain of physics? And then what are the interdisciplinary areas of physics? And then you should understand the three fundamentals and how physics is described, and by no means this is exhaustive. Alright, so next up is what are physical quantities? Physical quantities, as you can see, are derived and base quantities. These are the base quantities. If you're an A-level student, you already are aware of these and the unit. I would suggest that you go and have a look at the AS lecture that I've posted if you want to know more about base quantities and derived quantities, because they're also part of the FSC syllabus for the MDCAT. So ये आपकी base quantities हैं: length, time, temperature, current, amount of substance, light, intensity, and mass. The reason why I'm speeding through this is because you've already done this in a lot of detail. I just want to go to the part which you haven't done. So this is something which you haven't done, which is that how do you measure a base quantity? For example, अगर आप कहते हैं कि length 1 meter है, तो वो 1 meter कैसे है? अगर कहते हैं आपके time 1 second है, तो 1 second कैसे है? Like if you say mass is 1 kg, तो 1 kg किस तरह define किया गया था? How do you know it's 1 kg? So the measurement of a base quantity has two simple steps. One is a standard. So you have to set a standard, और उस standard के relative, इस तरह for example, if a person has a 70 kg mass, तो वो standard के relative है. And then establishment of a procedure for comparing the quantity to be measured with the standard. एक procedure बनाया जाए जो भी चीज़ आपने जो क्वांटिटी है जो मेजर करनी है उसको स्टैंडर्ड से कंपेयर करने का एक प्रोसीजर होना चाहिए, सो दैट अ नंबर एंड अ यूनिट कैन बी डिटरमिन्ड. अब ये जो स्टैंडर्ड है इसके दो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं जो होना चाहिए. एक कि द स्टैंडर्ड मस्ट बी एक्सेसिबल ताकि everybody is able to do it and there is no discrepancy, and second, it should be invariable. Invariable means it should not vary. The standard है तो standard तो एक constant रहना चाहिए, but between these two there's always a sweet spot that you have to find between accessibility and invariability. This is never possible to achieve both of them at the same time. So for example, meter क्या होता है? 1 meter कैसे define करते हैं? 1 meter is defined as the distance traveled by light in a vacuum in a time of 1 over this number. Now you don't have to memorize this number. You just have to know that it's a distance traveled by light in a vacuum in a time of, or time of kitna? So 1 over, what does this number look like? This is the speed of light. So 1 over 3 into 10 to the power 8 seconds. So यहाँ से निकली थी speed of light, which was 3 into 10 to the power 8. So इसी तरह if they can ask you about the kilogram, so kilogram 1 kg किसको कहते हैं? 1 kg क्या standard था? It was a mass of platinum 90% and iridium 10%. एक alloy cylinder था of platinum and iridium. ये percentages अपने ज़हनों में बिठाइएगा. 3.9 centimeter in diameter and 3.9 centimeter in height. Now, I don't expect you to run through all of the standards, but they are given in Appendix 1 of the FSC book if you want to have a look at it. But you won't have to memorize it, for sure. Then, there was a fun fact that these silicon chips, computer chips are basically silicon chips, and silicon is a semiconductor. I hope that you already know that. Now, in the FSC book, at times they write down fun facts or do you know or more information. Now, those are some important pieces of information which they expect you to know. But that is solely for the purpose of the FSC syllabus. MDCAT में इतना ज़्यादा रट्टा टेस्ट नहीं होगा. जहाँ होगा वो मैं बताऊँगा. For example, estimates are always important. Even in A levels, they're important. So this is a scale. As you can see, these are powers of 10. Powers of 10 को हम कहते हैं order of magnitude, and all of them are in meters. तो पहले तो आपको ये स्केल याद होना चाहिए. 10⁻⁻20 और ये 5 के इंटरवल से बना हुआ है. -15, -10, -5, 0, 10⁻5, 10, 10, 10, 15, 10, 20, 10, 25, and 10, 30. Let's walk through it. So diameter of a nucleus is 10⁻⁻15. I can see diameter of an atom is 10⁻⁻10. Height of a person is this, and blah, blah, blah. And I remember as a student, it was very difficult to memorize this. So I came up with this mnemonic. Mnemonics yaad karne, especially if you're going for medicine, then you'll have to really, really rely hard on mnemonics. So I came up with nahi, sun star, milk galaxy. नहीं तो हम बहुत ज़्यादा बोलते हैं. Sun star, I don't know how I came up with it, but it was easy. The sun is a star or a sun star, and milk galaxy because I like galaxy chocolates and chocolates have milk in them. So nahi. Let's try. N stands for nucleus, A stands for atom, H stands for height, E stands for earth, sun, star, milk, Milky Way, milk, and nearest galaxy, galaxy. So अब आपने क्या याद करना है कि ये जो न्यूक्लियस है, न्यूक्लियस is 10⁻⁻15, atom is 10⁻⁻10, human is 10⁻0, earth is 10⁻5, sun is 10⁻10, star is 10⁻15, the Milky Way is 10⁻20, and the galaxy is 10⁻30. So अगर आपको ये order भी याद हो गया, so let's say they give you an ascending order question or a descending order question, the mnemonic will really help you out. And if you notice, there's a pattern. The pattern is that when you'll have a look at it once or twice, you will start to memorize it because पहले 10⁻15 है, फिर 10⁻10 है, फिर 10⁻0 आता है, फिर 10⁻5 आता है, फिर 10⁻10 है, फिर 10⁻15 है, फिर 10⁻20 और फिर 10⁻30 है. As long as you remember the mnemonic and what the N, A, H, and E stand for, you obviously will not have any problems. Like I said again, Appendix 1 एक दफ़ा ज़रूर अपनी नज़रों से गुजार लीजिएगा. Not that you need it, really, but it's good to know. Well, then, there are some units that are called supplementary units. Now, when you're talking of supplementary units, they are not base units or derived units. I've already mentioned base units or derived units. You have to look at my lecture or on YouTube so that you can quickly recall how do you go about solving for derived units, for example. Supplementary units are those which are not base nor derived, and so far there are just two quantities which fall under this category. One is your plane angle. Plane angle means this angle which you have done in circular motion, this angle theta, and theta का unit अगर आपको याद हो हम कहते थे it used to be radians. And then you have this steradian or the solid angle. Plane angle होता है और एक solid angle होता है. याद रखो plane angle के अंदर this is between two radii. So this is a radius, and this was the circle. So the angle between two radii is the plane angle, and a solid angle is basically a three-dimensional angle. Three-dimensional angle का मतलब ये है कि you have a sphere, for example, और उस sphere के अंदर, now sphere is three-dimensional, right? So you have this angle. This angle is going to be measured in steradians. And this is going to be one steradian, SR, when this is R, and this area is R square. All right. And you already know of this thing. So this is R, this is r, and so is this. When all are equal, your angle theta would be 1 radian. Alright, next you have the prefix table. In the prefix table, you've got the quantities which you've already done, and let's quickly go over them again. So centi, deci, milli. So small d stands for deci, 10 is to the power -1, centi, 10 is to the power -2, milli, 10 is to the power -3, micro, -6, nano, -9, pico, 10 is to the power -12. And then in the FSC, you go slightly ahead. After pico, you've got femto, which is F, and which is 10 raised to the power -15, and then you have atto, which is 10 raised to the power -18. So these are the two new quantities which you do besides your A levels. And then you go upwards, so you've got kilo, 10 raised to the power 3, mega, 10 raised to the power 6, giga, 10 raised to the power 9, tera, 10 raised to the power 12. And then you go ahead and you write peta, which is capital P, and that is 10 raised to the power 15. And you have exa, and exa is capital E, and that is 10 raised to the power 18. And again, these are two quantities which you haven't done in your A levels, so just memorize them. Now, coming on to errors and uncertainties, well, you must understand the basics of it. So I would definitely recommend that you have a look at my AS lecture. I'll share the link in the description below. And you must know of what random errors are and what systematic errors are. We've done this in a lot of detail in those lectures, so I won't be going over it again because the lectures are already available, so you can just go and have a look over there. And then lastly, you must look at the error propagation. Error propagation may, again, in the videos, it's very clearly mentioned of how you handle addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. You must go and do that in a lot of detail so that you don't skip anything. And while you're doing random and systematic errors, please pay particular attention to precision and accuracy and how they are connected. Again, this is something that we have covered. If you have any trouble, just leave your comments below, and I will answer your problems. So hopefully this has helped you in getting over the first chapter, and I can absolutely tell you to start practicing a lot of questions, which we will be doing depending on how much interest I'm able to generate in these videos. So I have a lot of things planned. Show the love and like, subscribe, and share the videos. And let's see how this goes. And have a great day.